here on TAN TV. TAN TV is a local field with a global reach, and today we have the opportunity to talk to a candidate who is running for mayor in the city of Kirby, Texas. Now, everything is big in Texas, but Kirby. Now, Kirby is a small jurisdiction in Texas, and today I have with me Janeshia Grider. Uh, uh, she's actually a councilwoman. She was elected in 2021. I also know that she's been serving as mayor pro tem. So welcome, Janeshia. How are you today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Well, today is really important because you want to come out and tell the people of TAN or TAN TV about your run for mayor of Kirby. What got you into politics? What made you decide that you wanted to live a life of public service?
So, back in 2020, I was approached actually at a community garage sale about they were reading comments that I would we have a page called a certain social media site, and there was a lot of back and forth about some negative politics and some positive things going on in our community. And one thing about me is I speak my mind. So they were like, it seems like you don't back down. Would you will be willing to maybe run for a seat? And I said, let me think about it. Then after a while, I started thinking about it. I'm already very community service driven. I do a lot of things community service wise in my personal life and professionally. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it because at the time, and even now, more important, the residents deserved a voice. They needed somebody to speak up for them. They felt like they weren't being heard, and I felt like I could do that job.
Well, that's awesome. I'm not a stranger to Kirby, Texas politics. I actually helped to have Barbara Bowie, who ran for city council years ago, and we were successful in getting her elected. That was a very exciting period of time for me. But since those days, and that was long ago, even though I don't look like I'm that old, that you have emerged and now you're a leader on city council. So what have you been doing in office that really defines who you are as a political force and leader?
So advocate. Basically for my residents. Anyone who lives here, you have a voice. And I want to make sure that they know that no matter what, we don't have to agree on everything. And when the times that we disagree, you still can come to me. I have several people I have conversations on my front porch. At City Hall, they call me anytime, they message me. What I've been doing so far, also my platform in 2021 was to have Kirby youth programs. We have two schools here. We have a middle school and an elementary school. And I noticed there wasn't a lot of programs for our children to go to be a part of. So right now I offer one free activity per month for ages 5 through 17, not just only Kirby, but our surrounding area. So San Antonio, as far as Converse, Cibolo, anybody can come. It's free. So they could come and do that one activity. Last month, we celebrated Earth Day, had a water demonstration. The kids went around and picked up trash, asked them questions about littering, just activities like that. This month, actually, we're going to host our second annual Bike Month event in Kirby, which is very exciting. Just so many different things. Kirby Fitness. I started that here in Kirby also, where every Thursday residents have a free Zumba class they can go to. And my thing is about inclusion and free. As we know, times are hard.
Yes.
So people are trying to find things to do that's low cost or no cost. So I provide those services for our residents and surrounding communities. Because when it comes together, when it comes out down to it, it's not just about Kirby, because we have kids that come in and out. Like I said, we have two schools here. So we want to make sure everybody's included. And also I want the families to come together. So your parents, your grandparents, your sisters, everybody can come to any of these events I host, and it's free.
Okay. All right. Well, I love the fact that And I'm sure our viewers understand that in hard times, if we can rally communities together under community service, if there's free things that the community can be involved with, it makes for a stronger representation in government. I mean, people feel more involved in decision making. So thank you for doing that as a councilwoman. So you decided to press the mark to be the mayor. And I know that your peers probably said, well, girl, why are you doing this now? Or, I mean, what has been your experience with now being in this opportunity of a lifetime to run for mayor of Kirby?
Well, just to reach the residents. So we have roughly about 9,000 residents here in Kirby, Texas. I haven't met every single person, but one thing they know, and when I get up there on the Thursday nights at the city council meetings, I am representing your best interests. When people talk about sides, I don't have a side. I'm on the resident side. Whatever is right, that's the way I'm going with. That's my answer. I say it a lot of times, and I've said it at council meetings. I dish it to everyone. Nobody has it easy. I'll speak my mind. Professionally, I won't, disrespect anyone, but I will definitely let you know if I think something's wrong, if I think something's right. And I think a lot of times in the political space that we see, a lot of politicians, they don't want to just come out and give you a direct answer. You're not going to get that from me. If I don't know, I don't know, but I will try to find out for you, and I tell them all the time, I don't know everything. I'm learning this political space myself, but we're going to get through it together, and you can be sure that I have your best interest at heart every single time I make a decision up there.
So let's talk about your background. So everyone's very clear in terms of who you are. I know that you come from a military background, a brat per se, in Military City, USA, right there where we have all branches of service. But tell us about your background, your educational background, and what makes you uniquely qualified to be the mayor of Kirby.
So my background, I grew up as a military brat, born in Alabama, but was raised all over, obviously, because a military brat. United States Army, my father served in 22 years. For far as public service, so I'm actually, my career outside of Kirby City Council, I work for the Department of Army. I've been working for the Department of Army for about 18 years now, civil service. I'm a training specialist. I basically support 3 different officer courses for the Army. My background as far as managing, at one point I was actually a human resource officer for the United States Army as a civil service. And I managed 150 military officers, and they were not actually stationed here. They were all over, and I was their go-to for everything. And also, prior to that, legal release information and Brooke Army Medical Center, I ran that program there for about 13 years. So as far as public service, I have been doing that, well, actually, since I was younger. My parents always press upon me about giving back, and don't back down.
Right.
And that's the way I've been going forward with that. Ever since, I'm so blessed to have the family and the strong family and leadership I've seen from my parents to get me through. And even to this day, when some days are hard, I still pick up the phone and call them for, that leadership advice.
Yeah.
To let me know, just to give me some mentorship and advice.
Well, that's awesome. I'm a byproduct of the U.S. Air Force. Mm-hmm. I served as an officer, and so I understand the tremendous workload that you have supporting the officers in the Army, and know that they are a special, talented breed of people that you just can't get over on. So I'm sure whatever you're actually training them, that you're probably one of the best of the best. And thank your father for his service to our U.S. Army. I know that it takes a village, and seeing that you grew up in the military village, that should also bring some comfort to those in Kirby to know that you're well-rounded and well thought of. So looking at the incumbent, the mayor of Kirby, what are the challenges that you have to overcome to be the next mayor? What are the issues that the people are talking about that you want the viewers of TAN to recognize and to know about?
So the main topic in Kirby at this right now is infrastructure. So when you come to Kirby and you ride down our streets, it's not too nice. It can be almost like a roller coaster. We have some, but the thing is, it's not just on the surface. We also need to think about what's below. So if the streets haven't been maintained for 20 plus years, you can imagine what the sewage and the pipes look like below also. So that's one thing. And anybody knows, if you can imagine, I tell people, imagine at your house, how much your pipe bursts, how much that costs to get that fixed. Can you imagine a whole block? And we have about 90 streets in Kirby. So we have a lot of infrastructure work to do. It's very expensive. Grants don't come easy. And a lot of times we don't qualify in certain areas for grants. So on top of that, economic development. That is my main focus. In order to fix those streets, we need to tackle economic development. We need to get businesses in here, into Kirby, new businesses. We have roughly about 2 million traffic that passes Kirby every month. So they're going up the street to San Antonio and Converse spending their money. I want them to stop here in Kirby and spend that money. That's the way we can get those streets fixed. We can get the programs that we want here. Quality life, sidewalks. So once we get the economic development and get that going, then we can, I can just imagine what we can do.
There's a lot of rural space around Kirby. Have you ever thought about what economic development looks like when partnering perhaps with one of the professional athletic teams? I mean, seems like you have just an endless amount of opportunity there around Kirby. I also recognize Kirby's annexed. So San Antonio, in essence, is your competitor, right? In terms of having businesses to stop and to realize that they could do better business in Kirby. It may be because they're getting a better deal. So what are these economic development incentives that you're thinking about offering businesses to consider Kirby as being their next home?
So actually, Kirby, we're landlocked at this moment. So San Antonio pretty much surrounds us. We gave away our ETJ probably about, don't quote me on how many years ago, but it was a while back. So unfortunately, we don't have any land that is really our own, the city owned. So that's a big issue right there. I was actually the other day at a neighbor's house, and I saw the one plot of land it looks like that the city might own that left out there, and it's not that big. So you can imagine with resources, what businesses would actually want to come into a neighborhood and open a business in the middle of the neighborhood. Pretty much probably none. So my goal is on FM 78. That is our main stretch of road. That is prime real estate. If we can get developers in here, one thing I did on city council, I brought up several times that I would like a company to come in to do the work for us. We're not real estate, a commercial real estate agents or developers. We need somebody actually who can come in and do the work. I proposed that idea. The majority of the council decided that was not what they wanted to go with. They were going to wait. But what are we waiting on? We're going to keep waiting. And then 7 years ago, this was brought up then, and they said, wait then. We can't keep waiting. There's a process to getting these businesses in here. So with the incentives, my thing is just let's first get a developer in here and some help to assess the situation.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, perfect. And so, so the early vote, has that already taken place in Kirby? Because it's just completed itself in San Antonio. So the early vote's complete. What do you want the voters to do now? What do you need support on? And again, you're on TAN TV. You have viewers from all over the world who are listening and watching you. Tell us, what do you need right now in Kirby, Texas, and how will that impact this powerful community that you're part of?
So I would just like the voters. So to answer your first question, yes, early voting is over, but tomorrow, May 6th, is election day. Open. The polls are open 7 to 7. Come on out, vote, vote, vote. And also, if you're in Bexar County, you can vote at any polling site. You do not have to just vote at the City Hall in Kirby, Texas. So you can vote anywhere. But again, 7 to 7, I just want to plug that. But I want them to know that every decision that I make is for the betterment of my community, period. That's the first thing on my mind. And also, all residents, business owners, especially and our city staff, you deserve respect and responsive and responsible leadership. And I believe that I can provide that for you. And that is my job as an elected official, to do that. And also, I'm just going to keep moving Kirby forward. Economic development, I'm going to keep pushing that. I'm going to keep going to other elected officials and speaking with them, letting them know that, hey, I'm from a county, federal, state, letting them know, hey, we're here. We're on the map. Don't forget about us. San Antonio's here, but guess what? Kirby, Texas is here too.
Well, I'm so glad that you made a great impression on who Kirby, Texas is. I expect that people will see you on election day at the polls. If they want to find you online, how do they do that?
They can go to Janeshia Grider Janeshia Grider, Mayor Pro Tem for Kirby, Texas, on social media. Okay,
very good. And today I'm glad that we were able to interview Ms. Janeshia Grider, who is a councilwoman, who is also the Mayor Pro Tem. She's been doing some fabulous work in the city of Kirby, Texas. She's told you about who she is. She's got great community service as well as politics. She's been working on the civil service side of employment and has served our military city USA in a very fabulous way. It's great to see new faces into our political landscape. I'll close just by asking you one question. In today's political environment, as tense as it is, what makes you want to continue in politics the way that we know it?
You know, it's the people. It's the people. When I go out somewhere and I meet the people, and I say this, it doesn't matter last time if you voted for me or if you didn't vote for me. I'm still going to talk to you. You know, you might have some idea that I wasn't even thinking about, or you could change my mind on something. It's about the people, those conversations, those relationships, community. That's what it's about. It's like, let's get back to being neighborly, number one, and listening to each other. I'm a people person. I will say I can talk to anybody. I can talk your ear off. But I think also we need people like myself who don't mind getting in the mix, who don't mind saying, I don't know, but let me find out. Or being truthful and saying, you know what, that's probably not going to happen. It's okay to say that. Let's be honest with our people, with our residents. And, you know, I'll just fight for you because I feel like I'm fighting for the future. You know, I care about every single person who lives in my community and who lives around my community, because that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what we all should do. But I'm 100% on board, fighting for my community. Everywhere I go, I talk about Kirby. I love my city. We're a small city with a big heart. That's our motto.
A small city with a big heart. Y'all heard it here on TAN TV. Again, my name is Christopher Herring. So glad to be with you today. And again, tune in, vote, vote, vote. Would you agree, Councilwoman? Vote, vote, vote.
Vote, vote, vote.
Election day is tomorrow. So thank you so much. And may God bless you. Thank you again, TAN TV, for this amazing opportunity. Kirby, Texas. Keep the radar on Kirby, Texas. Let's see what happens in their election. And again, it was a pleasure meeting you and being able to interview you today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.